Hey, this is Mr. Buffet. Welcome to my online virtual classroom. I'm so glad you're here. Now, before I tell you more about what we're going to learn in this new unit, let me change into something a little more appropriate. Now I'm ready. What do you think we're going to learn about? Yep, that's right, heroes. You know, wherever we go in this society today, we are surrounded by heroes and hero worship. You know, we see heroes on our TV. We see heroes in our computer games. We see them in the movies. We see them in books. We see them on our t-shirts. But why? Why are heroes so important to human beings? Since the dawn of man, when they were writing on caves, in the walls of caves, there were heroes, all the way up to Captain America today. But why? That's our major question. We are going to inquire about the role of mythology, particularly something called the monomyth or hero's journey. Monomyth, mono means one. Myth, you already know. So there's the idea that there is one major story, one kind of story that's expressed and communicated through time, space, and place. And that's what we're going to investigate. We're going to compare and contrast ancient myth and heroes to modern day heroes. And we're going to do that because we want to figure out why are the heroic myths important, and also how are they used as a means of expressing and educating people in society. They fulfill a function, but what is it? What are they teaching? That's what this whole unit is about. You will get a chance in this unit to update an ancient myth or create one of your own in a special project using different media of your choosing. That's our first summative. So then after that, we're going to take a look at Homer's Odyssey, which is one of the oldest pieces of literature in Western civilization. We're going to use what we learned in the first part of the unit about mythology and the hero's journey, and we're going to use it to analyze the Odyssey in an academic paper. So now that you know a little bit about the unit, and particularly about the kinds of summative assessments and projects I hope you're going to get excited about trying, let's dig a little deeper into the unit and what you should expect. Okay, let's get a snapshot, an MYP snapshot of our unit, so you understand how this unit fits in to the MYP IB curriculum. So, key concepts for this unit are identity and culture. I want you to think of identity in terms of your personal identity and how you may connect with a particular heroic myth. Or I want you to think about your cultural identity, why certain cultures latch on to certain kinds of heroes. Okay. Another thing we're going to take a look at is related concepts. When we talk about related concepts, they are related to our subject, which is language and literature. In this case, we're talking about heroes, so we got to talk about characters. There's different kinds of heroes and different things that make a hero. We're also going to learn about structure. And we're going to analyze the hero's journey because there are certain steps that all heroes must follow. And these steps are what create the story. And it's also these steps, the structure, that determines whether a story is powerful and persuasive or not. Global context, again, identities and relationships, focusing on identity. We relate to these heroes. We relate to these myths. Even though they're technically not factually true, we powerfully relate to them. They strike us at our core. The question is why? So now let's take a look at the inquiry statements. There's two of them for this unit. So every time I assign you something to work on, I need you to keep these two statements, these two essential understandings in your mind and on your tongue. The first one is, human beings create and tell heroic myths to teach people how to lead extraordinary lives within their culture. You see, it's not really about a Superman who can fly. It's not really about Harry Potter and his magic wand. Nope, it's not even about ancient stories of Perseus who chopped off the head of a woman with snakes coming for hair. Now, what's really going on is heroic myths are there to teach people in their culture the values, the practices that they need in order to become successful. There are certain steps that they believe you need to have in order to lead an extraordinary life within that culture at that particular time. Here's the second one. Every culture and historical period has its own heroes. Again, we can go back to the cave paintings. Lots of archaeologists have pointed that this is, in some cases, paintings that reflect the hero's journey. And when we go to whether you like Deadpool or you like Batman or Captain America, I like them all, by the way. These are modern myths that we tell ourselves, that we identify with. The question is why? That's going to be, again, an important part of our unit. So class, here are the essential, important inquiry questions that you all need to know in order to be successful in this unit. Throughout this unit, I want you to ask yourself, what are the important elements that go into every heroic myth? There are, just like a journey, there are steps. There is a structure to every heroic myth. In fact, the hero's journey is actually called the monomyth because it's one story, one structure that's communicated in a myriad of different ways throughout different times, places, and spaces. And you need to know what those steps are, what those elements are, so that you can create your own myth, your own heroic journey, as well as interpret and analyze something as ancient as the Odyssey. And the second most important kind of question is the conceptual question in this unit. How and why are heroic myths created and retold? We have myths like the Odyssey that are thousands of years old, and yet we are still in the 21st century in Forest Lake, Leela Academy, we are still reading them. Why? Why are they so important? How are they created? How can we learn to make our own myths and become extraordinary? Finally, here's the debatable question, and I think we'll actually debate this. What is a hero? What does it take to be a hero? Like I said, these stories are just not for fun and entertainment. No, they have something for us to learn from, something to take from and put in to the context of our own lives, in our own times, with our own challenges. And that, to me, is what makes the hero's journey so exciting, so important. You can tell how excited I am about this unit. You can even tell I'm too excited about this unit. That's the introduction to our new unit, the hero's journey. The next thing I want you to do is go to Google Classroom, take a closer look at this, review it often throughout the unit so you know what to expect and you know the kinds of ideas and questions we're going to be grappling with. It'll contribute to your success. The second thing that I want you to do is I want you in the comments section to write a question you still have or some concerns you might have about this new unit. That kind of feedback is very, very helpful for me, helping you have a great experience. Always come back to Google Classroom, review this video and also this document so that you understand what's expected of you and what to expect from me. I wish you all the success on your journey through the Hero's Journey unit.